And now on the line from Inverness in Scotland is Shona MacLennan the Ceannard, or CEO of Bòrd na Gaelic. Shona, welcome to the programme.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm out of the conversation.
Okay, Fáilte.
Good to be with you.
Okay, that's great. Shona, I have a couple of questions on the status and successes of the promotion of Gaelic in Scotland. Can you start off by telling us a bit about your work in general in Bòrd na Gaelic and a bit about the history of the promotion of Gaelic in more recent years?
Certainly, happy to do that. The Bòrd na Gaelic was set up in 2005 and it's a public body. So it's an arm's length body that works with Scottish Government. It's funded by Scottish Government. And our role is primarily to create the policy, the national policy for Gaelic development in Scotland. So every 5 years, as a result of the Act, we are required to develop and consult on and make a recommendation to Scottish ministers for the National Gaelic Language Plan. And that sets the direction of the policy for Gaelic development in Scotland. So that's one of our main roles. As well as that, we also work with other public bodies, and we ask them to develop their own Gaelic language plans. And those plans say what each body will do to promote Gaelic, both within the organisation and how they will develop Gaelic provision in the services that they deliver, and how they will respond to Gaelic speakers who want to use Gaelic with that organisation. We also have a role in education, and so I'm happy to talk about that as well, if you like.
Okay. Yeah, I was just going to ask you about that actually. Go on, could you tell us a bit about Gaelic medium education in Scotland?
Okay, happy to do that. Gaelic medium education, so that's where children are educated through the medium of Gaelic, and I'm sure many of your listeners will be well used to that concept in Ireland. That started off in 1985 and has grown in Scotland, particularly over recent years. So there's been quite a significant growth, and that's where children enter into, quite often they start off in play groups, getting a taste of Gaelic, and then moving into nursery provision, and then primary education, and then going into secondary. And our role at Bòrd na Gaelic, one of the things we do legally required to do is to produce the statutory guidance on Gaelic education, and that sets out what good practice is, and also this was introduced 2 years ago, how parents can request their right to request Gaelic medium primary education provision.
And I understand, I think there are 2 or 3 primary level Gaelic medium schools in Glasgow, aren't there? And there's a secondary as well, isn't there?
That's right. There's been quite a substantial growth in Gaelic medium provision in Glasgow. So there are currently 3 Gaelic schools, standalone Gaelic schools in Glasgow, and the local authority is considering developing another one. What we find, and you possibly find the same thing in Ireland, level of attainment in pupils who have been in Gaelic medium and bilingual education are generally very high. And increasingly what we're finding is that those pupils are drawn from a wide range of communities, not just those who have Gaelic in the home, but also parents who've chosen a Gaelic medium education for their children, possibly because they had some family connection with the language, or possibly because they've heard about the benefits of bilingualism and immersive education. So growing interest, there's definitely a growing interest and growing demand for it in Scotland. And along with that, some challenges, and that's particularly for us about developing a wider range of subject choices in the secondary school, particularly in the upper years of secondary. So as the demand is growing, we need to also encourage the local authorities and work with partners to enable the local authorities to deliver a wider range of subjects at secondary level, so that there's a kind of a complete, round experience in Gaelic medium education.
I have a big interest in Ireland in Irish language and bilingual science. and I also have an interest in bilingual science in general around the world. Can you tell me how is this going for Gaelic in Scotland? I've seen some lovely photographs of some bilingual road signs that you have.
Yeah, and as many of these things do, it started off with individuals or groups campaigning, quite radical campaigning, for signs to be bilingual or Gaelic only. And that was around about 1970s, 1980s, and gradually public policy adopted bilingual signage for roads, for trunk roads. And then particularly, and another organisations developed it on a voluntary basis. But I mentioned earlier the sort of public bodies developing Gaelic language plans. And very often, once the body has created the Gaelic language plan and started implementing that, a big part of that is having bilingual signage. So in some of the forms of transport, Caledonian McBrain runs the ferries to the Western Isles. Their signage is bilingual. ScotRail, that runs the National Rail Services in Scotland, a lot of their signage is bilingual. And in the last year, 18 months, Police Scotland, the National Police Force, adopted bilingual signage for their vehicles. So as they get new vehicles or as they, need to renew the logos on their vehicles, there's a rollout of bilingual signage. And because you see police cars in every community, that it's really spread the awareness and the visibility of the language, and just become much more a usual part of life. So that's quite a significant change, because unlike Ireland, Gaelic wasn't obvious. Whereas over the years, much more road signs, street signs, transport signs, even information signs in public buildings are increasingly becoming bilingual, and so Gaelic becoming much more visible, supporting the kind of the hearing of Gaelic.
The bilingual English Gaelic road signs you have in Scotland are more colourful than the bilingual English Irish road signs we have in Ireland. Are these bilingual signs, are they predominantly in the western region of Scotland, or are they throughout Scotland, or what's the story?
They're predominantly in the western region. The north and the west is primarily where you see them.
Okay. Am I right in saying that your decisions and policies in Bòrd and Gaelic now are statutory?
Some of ours are, yes, that's right. So asking to a public body to prepare a Gaelic language plan, that's a statutory right we have. We have a statutory duty to develop the National Gaelic Language Plan every 5 years. We also have responsibilities about promoting the Gaelic language and culture, which again comes through the Act, so it's statutory duties. And I'm just trying to think of if there's other specific examples, but it's primarily about language planning, and also reporting on the Charter for Minority Languages. That's another responsibility which is mentioned in the Gaelic Language Act. And then, of course, what I was talking about, the statutory guidance on Gaelic education and giving advice to ministers on matters relating to Gaelic education and to Gaelic more generally.
Okay, Shona, and how's the language going in the Western Isles of Scotland? Because I understand that's the main place where the language is still spoken as a community language.
That's right. In the National Gaelic Plan, which we published last year, we kind of create a distinction of three different kinds of communities, and one of those is the community in the Western Isles and some parts of the other West Coast Islands, and that's where Gaelic is still spoken on a daily basis, and that's where the traditional communities are. And we're of the view that you need different strategies to support the maintenance and the growth of the language in those communities to the strategies that you might use in some of the towns and cities where we're seeing an increase in the interest and the growth in Gaelic, and that's primarily around the Gaelic education.
Okay.
So we're looking at and this is probably very similar to Ireland. If you're looking at the areas where Gaelic is spoken as a traditional language, then there's those rural areas have quite a lot of other challenges. It's not just about language maintenance, but it's about housing, economic opportunities, transport, connectivity, to enable people to be able to stay in their communities or other people to move into the communities, and thereby ensure that the communities themselves are strengthened, and therefore strengthen the language within those communities.
I understand, I think you have around 60,000 Gaelic speakers in Scotland, do you?
So in the 2011 census, just over 87,000 people aged over the age of 3 said that they had some Gaelic language skills. And how the questions the census asked were, do you understand, do you speak, do you read, and do you write? And about 58,000 of those said that they could speak Gaelic. So it's really important that we have people supportive of the language, as well as people who are speaking the language. And what our aim is to increase the numbers of people who are speaking it. So that was the picture 8 years ago, and we're looking forward now to the 2021 census and what the results will be in that.
Okay, Shona, to come towards the end of the interview, do you have any big plans and hopes for the next couple or few years in Bòrd na Gaelic with regards to the promotion and future of Gaelic?
Well, naturally, and I think I just talked about it there, our vision is more people using the language more often in more situations, and it's really about usage, and all the different routes that take the different communities and the different individuals and the different organisations to a situation where that's what's happening, that people are using it more often on a daily basis in different situations and with different people. So really all of it driving towards increased usage, because that's what makes a language alive and successful. It's about people using it, being able to use it, being confident to use it, and enjoying using it.